Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms video. I am RoyalMixGaming and today's video is going to be what my 7 marches are going to be for this KVK in 216 and if they're going to be necessary. So just before we kind of talk about the marches, I'm going to go ahead and use this KVK and kind of explain them to you. We'll see if this KVK is going to be worth 7 marches or not. Most likely I will have 6, but 7 is if it's like a super hard KVK we have been fighting in King's Land, some things like that. Then I'll get 7 marches, but we'll see if that's what's going to happen this KVK. But we're going to go ahead and show you the marches I'm going to go ahead and use, explain a little bit what each march is going to do for me and why I'm using them. So the first march I'm going to use is Trajan Ethelfled. The reason I'm using this march is because Trajan's going to provide buffs. For my marches, give me some extra rage. He's fairly tanky, he can be used with mixed troops, and it's going to give him marches more skill damage, which is just going to help me out a lot. Ethelfled's going to be there for debuffing with health, defense, and attack. I think it's 30% debuff on the targets and a 5 march AoE. Really good, helps you out in the open field. It's going to help me melt marches faster. That's my first march out of the 7 marches I could possibly use this KVK. Second march is going to be Guan Leo. I'm using this march because Guan gives me silence. Leo is going to give me the tankiness that I need. The only thing that's going to be different on this march is possibly working in Scipio. Problem is I need the max Boudica first. I'm somewhere around 200 heads away from maxing Boudica. I'm going to be getting the wheel spins, and I'm also going to have like 100 heads extra, so I should be able to max her before I even get 7 marches. So I would work in trying to get like a 5-5-5-1. Scipio worked in somewhere along the line here to replace my Leo so I can do more damage. But until then, Leo's tanky and can give me some AoE, so that it's good enough in the open field that I will use this as one of my marches. My third march is going to be Zhang XY with William. The reason I'm using this, XY gives me 30% reduced defense, has a high damage factor and a 3 march AoE, and a frontal AoE. And then William's going to provide me some extra rage. I think he reduces like the skill damage the target does, or gives away the extra skill damage bonuses when he hits multiple targets. He also gives you rage, has an AoE, gives you some extra march speed so I can retreat this march, which is really good, which is why I'm going to use this combo. And then my fourth march is going to be Henry and Nebu. The reason I'm using this march is it's going to hide my Nebu behind Henry. Henry and Nebu has some high counterattack, has high march speed, so I can retreat this march much faster than I could with Nebu and YSG together. It's going to help me like retreat this march, so if it gets low, I can retreat it. It's very fast. It's kind of like an Edward, and I think like, I'm not sure, Edward and somebody has a lot of march speed. Maybe like Cyrus and things like that has a lot of march speed. This march has a lot of march speed, which I kind of like, but I might be careful with it. But it has also high skill damage, which is going to help me out, because Henry has a 2,000 damage factor, and Nebu has a 2,000 to the current target too, but also has AoE, which is really nice. But it also hides my Nebu, which is what I'm really looking for, which is why it's going to be one of my marches. My fifth march is going to be Nevsky with Minamoto. This march can be slightly changed if I want to have more AoE with Mehmed as a secondary to him. But I like this march because it's really tanky, gives me debuff from Minamoto and Nevsky with defense and all damage taken from Minamoto, and has a high single target damage, which helps me just obliterate the target that I'm hitting, which is why I like this march a lot. Like I was saying, there could be a little bit of modification using Mehmed with AoE, and that's also the other reason why I'm not using XY and Nevsky, is because I want to split them up so I have 2 cab marches, which is why this is going to be my 5th march and my 7th march ideas. And then my 6th march is going to be Artemisia and Tommy. This is probably the most likely to change, depending on how the open field is going, if I want to do more damage and do a lot less support. But this march is going to give me a lot of tankiness and support to my team, so if we have a lot of open field going on, we're going to be able to obliterate the targets that I'm hitting very quickly, because I'm going to have a lot of additional damage on that target, skill damage taken on the target from my Trajan buffing me, my Tamaris bringing on the stacks, which makes the target take more skill damage, which is going to help my other marches do more damage to that target. Which is why it's my 6th march, but I could also replace it with a Monitor and Artemisia if I want to do more damage. But I think Tommy with Artemisia is fairly decent, and is my 6th march in this 7 march combos. My 7th march is going to be Boudica with YSG. Boudica is going to bring me skill damage taken on the target increased. YSG has a 5 march AoE. Boudica has a high skill damage number on the current target, which is why this is going to be another good high skill damage march that's going to be putting out a lot of damage so I can melt and obliterate targets very quickly. And if you watch my recent video with the extra skill damage taken on the target, we're talking up to over 60% damage on the target increased by skill damage, which has helped me obliterate my targets that I'm hitting very quickly, which has helped me clear the open field much faster, help my team out, and help me just do a lot better in the open field, which is why I'm using these combos. Like I was saying, the only probably change I could do is just replace Tamaris, but we're going to see how this goes. A lot of testing going on with these marches because I don't know how tanky Henry is, how tanky Boudica is, but I know pretty much how tanky and how high damage the other marches I'm going to be using are. So this is what this is going to be for my 7 March video here. But real quickly, we're going to try and stream this Wednesday at like 21:30 UTC. I have over 400 materials to go ahead and try to refine my archer set. So we're going to go ahead and try and go through and refine each one of them twice. I have not refined anything yet, but I have about 2 of each blueprint for the whole archer set, and we're going to go ahead and hope we can get a crit. I should probably make a second archer set at some point, but I really would like to get a crit set and then worry about making more sets in the future. So we're going to go ahead and refine each set of the archer thing twice, because I basically have 2 of everything. So that's what we're going to be doing this Wednesday. Also going to spin the Boudica wheel on that day, so that I have the sculptures that maybe an expertise are in the stream. Not sure, depends on what's going on. But the day after, on Thursday, the pass is going to open at 15 UTC on Thursday this week. Unfortunately, I have to work, so I will have to stream at the same time I would on Wednesday at like 21:30 UTC. We will see what fights there is. If there's not a lot of fighting, we may just kind of chill out and have a chill stream for about an hour. We'll just have to see. But there will be a lot of fighting, I think, on my second account on the left side of the map, because I'm in the bottom right corner right now in my main, and we will be going against 1657, I think it is, here in the top. But then I also have an account here in 2060 where we're going against 2120, so we'll just have to see. These zones aren't very big, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to have a ton of fights at the start, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we have 2 streams this week. I am trying to figure out some problems with my microphone, but that's my own issues right now. But thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because we're going to be bringing you some more war content here pretty soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on Wednesday.